This is a quick review of my favorite lead capture tool. It's called ConvertBox and you can use it on pretty much any website. I've been through a lot of different lead capture tools over the years before finally settling on ConvertBox. I love it and I'm going to show you why, and hopefully then you will love it as well. Now, this isn't a full guide on how to use every feature. It's just an introduction to show you some of the cool stuff you can do with it and how this goes beyond just lead capture. If you would like to get some more information on how to use it and some bigger guides, drop in a comment below or check through the video description for a few links. I'm Jimmy from jimmyrose.me, and if you would like to learn more ways about how to automate your business, get more productive, and about cool tools like this one, hit that subscribe button below. Otherwise, let's get on with it. First, just a few reasons why I like this tool more than pretty much any I have used in the past. The first thing is that it's just simple. Like, it is really, really easy to use. It's clearly been designed for that kind of purpose, to get these forms done and out there quickly rather than trying to tweak all these different things and trying to get them to work. It's just so nice. It uses proven templates that convert, and they're somewhat basic looking, I would say. If you're a designer that needs fine control over every little piece of your lead forms, it's probably not the tool for you. But if you're someone that wants to just use a template, make some small tweaks to make it match your brand and get it live ASAP, ConvertBox is epic for that. The second thing I like is that it's a SaaS product, meaning it's software that sits external to your website and you just embed some JavaScript on your site to get it running. I like that because I've used WordPress plugins before, and you can run into issues with plugin updates and just things becoming more bloated on your site. I've used really well-known plugins for this with solid developers that have still caused me problems. I'm just a big fan of having this kind of thing off-site, having it maintained in a completely different place. If we ever redesign our website, we don't have to move that plugin and all the lead forms with it. It's just over there, so we can embed the new forms on the new site. No worries at all. Number 3, it's more than just lead gen. I've used ConvertBox in multiple different ways, like for segmentation of people who are on our list, and even like a choose your own adventure type system where a visitor can come to the website and they click on it and it guides them through to get to the page or the video or whatever on our site that they need to get to, just with a series of buttons, which you'll learn in this video. And number 4, the price is just good. ConvertBox, when I'm recording this, is still on a lifetime deal. I can't guarantee that's still going to be live by the time you watch this video, but just go to csnare.com/CB for ConvertBox to check out if that lifetime deal is still going. That link will also be in the description below. So now let's actually have a look at the product dashboard and how you can set it up on your website. And I'll show you some of the things it can do and the ways I use it in our business. So let's jump over. So this is what it looks like when you've logged in. Obviously, once you've got a few ConvertBoxes set up, it'll look like this. But the first time you come in, it's going to ask you to set up a site. And really, setting up a new website is literally just the domain that you're going to put it on. So I'm not going to go through the whole process because it's fairly self-explanatory. But once you've created a site, you'll have to install it. It'll give you the code to install on your website. And there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can add the script, so no matter what kind of site, you can just dump the script straight on there. Whoever handles your web stuff will be able to do that extremely easily for you. It's very standard practice. But there is also a WordPress plugin that you can install. It gives you this code here. And once you've installed the plugin, you literally paste it straight into there and hit submit. That's it. That is the entire installation process if you are on WordPress. Now, even if you are a web guru and you're like, I don't want to install a plugin just for this one little script, I will actually stop you there and say that I think you should use the WordPress plugin. And there's one reason behind this. It actually adds a couple of extra features. Even though that setup is really, really simple, what it enables you to do is to trigger your lead pop-ups and that kind of thing based on WordPress tags and categories. So this plugin will actually begin pushing WordPress data, tags and categories into ConvertBox so you can use those on triggers in your pop-up. That means you could say, show this lead generation form only on posts with a certain category. And that is really powerful. So it's one of the exceptions that I make, that I use a WordPress plugin instead of just installing the script. So I'd recommend that. So moving on, once you've set up your site and installed the code, the next step is to simply create a ConvertBox. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just call it JR test for Jimmy Rose test. And you get this group here. Now think of that just like a folder, but one cool thing this enables you to do is you can have a goal for this entire group, right? So if we have 3 different lead generation forms in this group, let's say that group's goal is to get someone to sign up for a free PDF download. You know, maybe I'm doing one on Zapier on my website, how to use Zapier or something. Now, if someone signs up for that, I don't really want to be showing them other pop-ups and opt-ins for that exact same thing that they've already signed up for. So you can set a goal for each group and say, if that goal is reached, then don't show any of these ConvertBoxes anymore. And this is just one example of ConvertBox that having like all these really cool features that are kind of inconspicuous, right? You just think group, maybe it's a folder, but that is a pretty cool feature just hidden behind the group. For now, I'm just going to pick my general group here. And you can see here that it supports all the standard types of opt-in that you've probably ever seen before. So we've got the sticky bar, so that is a bar that sits at the top of your website. As you scroll down, it stays there. A callout modal is kind of like a slide-in. If you've ever used that before, it pops up like a chat almost, and you can have buttons and whatever you like inside these boxes, which you'll see shortly. The center modal is your classic pop-up, and the full page is that style where you go to a website and it literally fills up the whole page with an opt-in, and you can either close it or opt in. And they also have embedded style ones. So these are the inline opt-ins you probably used to seeing in blog posts. So you've got the sidebar style there, or this might be in your blog post for maybe a content upgrade. You know, if you've got a lead magnet that is specific to that blog post, this is the kind of opt-in you're probably going to use. But for now, just for testing, I'm going to go with a center modal. So this is where we actually build the opt-in form. So we can build one from scratch using this option here, or we can just go with something simple like this one. Like I was saying, these are just really simple, proven templates that you can use out of the box. I'm just going to go with this one. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about how to actually design these things. There are plenty of options. If you click around, you can change the colors and fonts and all that kind of stuff. But I'll just quickly show you what kind of elements are available. You can embed videos and images and even countdown timers in these pop-ups, which come in really handy if you're doing like sales. Or I've actually built, which you'll see soon, a choose your own adventure kind of thing where if they click that they want to view a video, it just takes them to another step in this form where the video is available. And you'll see how that works shortly. But the main thing I'd like to show you is the form itself. So if I open that up, you get some options here on the left-hand side. And this is where we connect the form to our CRM. I'm using ActiveCampaign. But I'm just going to jump over here and show you all the different CRMs it integrates with out of the box, right? There are loads. So see if you can spot the one you are using in there. These are all the main ones I recommend for people as well. I'm obviously a huge fan of ActiveCampaign. But yeah, if you're using MailerLite or Infusionsoft, ConvertKit, Drip, all the main ones are there. And if the one you're using isn't there, it actually has HTML forms as well. Most CRMs will enable you to embed a HTML form directly from your CRM, so you've got that option. And it has webhooks as well, which enable you to push leads over to a service like Zapier, which can then go and forward that to whatever CRM you're using. Now, webhooks are a little bit of an advanced topic. If you have a look in the description below this video, though, I have a video describing how webhooks work, and you can check that out if the CRM you are using isn't listed here. But if we go back over to the form now, we've got a couple of options up here, the fields and actions. The fields, very simple. As you would expect, you can put different fields in the form, different kinds, whether it's texts or checkboxes, radio buttons, all that kind of stuff if you need it. But the actions, This is where a lot of the power in ConvertBox is. So what happens when that form is submitted? So we'll look into a few things here shortly. For now, I just want to show you the integration. So this is where you would say, okay, I want to add this person to my jimmyrose.me active campaign. I'm going to add a tag, say, I might want to add a few things here. So I could put them into multiple CRMs. I could do multiple actions. So that might be, adding them to a list or putting them in an automation, whatever it is. There's all kinds of integrations here, and you can just add as many as you like. And then you might also say, okay, we don't want to show this ConvertBox to that person anymore. You don't want to show that pop-up because they've already opted into it, right? And we're just going to say we'll close the ConvertBox when they submit the form. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step. If we open up the triggers option here, you'll see there are loads of different conditions on which you can trigger the ConvertBox. So you could say, show it after a certain amount of time, after they've scrolled down the page, say 20%, if they haven't done anything in a while. Page abandonment, which means it tries to detect if the mouse is moving up to the bar to close it. So that's a pretty standard feature of a lot of different opt-in tools. But finally, a really good one here is the clicking a link on the page. So this is essentially saying, show the pop-up when someone clicks this link. So with this one, you actually have to go and edit your page and put that link on the page. And I'll show you an example here. I've got a blog post. Scroll down and there is this little block of text that's automatically injected into each blog post. If you'd like to know how to do this, I'm using a WordPress plugin that automatically embeds after, I think it's 6 paragraphs. You can see there. Comment below if you would like to learn more about that. But you can see there's a link here. And in the back end, I've simply pasted this data here for a certain ConvertBox. You click it and you get the pop-up. So that is what the clicking a link on a page trigger looks like. But let's just say for now, I'm going to go with time on page 5 seconds. You get this frequency option here so you can try to not overwhelm your visitors. You don't want to show the same thing to them over and over and over again. So you might just say, I want to show once a day or something, maximum 3 times in total. If they close the box manually, you might say, actually just never show it again. Totally up to you what you want to use for these settings. And then finally in the display step, we have location. And this is simply saying where on your website you want to show the ConvertBox, right? So you've got pretty good control here. So you could say, I want to show it on certain blog posts. You paste the exact URL in there. You could say URLs containing a certain keyword. But if you've installed the WordPress plugin, these two become available, right? So you could say if the WordPress category, see it's actually imported my categories. I could say if it has the marketing category, then it's going to show this ConvertBox. And that is super powerful. It's one of my favorite features of ConvertBox that very few people seem to know about because you only get it if you install the WordPress plugin. And of course, you can have more granular control by excluding some pages as well. Moving on to targeting. So you can either show it to everyone, but the target specific visitors is actually really powerful. I don't use this too much, but this allows you to set conditions on who it should display to with all kinds of data points here. So like depending on how many pages they've viewed on your website, what kind of device they're on, so desktop or mobile, if they've previously been to a certain page. But if we go down further here, you can actually use these CRM integrations. So you can say only show this pop-up if someone isn't on an active campaign list. So if they're already there, maybe we don't want to show them the opt-in. And the same with tags. So you could say, if someone has a certain tag, like maybe they have opted in for my Zapier freebie, maybe this ConvertBox I'm building is actually an upsell to a $20 offer or something. And I could say only display that if someone has previously opted into my list. Now, this isn't bulletproof. If this is the first time someone has visited your website, and maybe it's on their phone, they opted in previously on their desktop computer and now they're visiting on their phone, ConvertBox isn't going to know that. So it may not always be able to know who the person is. But that's a more advanced topic we can talk about another time. In the final step though, change that back over to launch. Pretty simple here. We just making sure we give it a name, and then we're going to turn it on, and you can schedule it if you like. You know, if you had that timer block in the, if you'd actually put in a timer here for a countdown, you'd probably want to set this to the same ends time, and then we go ahead and click finish. And now that ConvertBox is live. If we've set a timer of 5 seconds on a certain page on our website, that is going to begin showing up. You don't have to go and edit anything on your website unless you've chosen that trigger type of clicking a link on a page. In that case, you will have to go and set that up on your site. And that is as simple as copying that data there. So copy link. If I jump back to this blog post before, and let's say Google Sheets, I know this is not the right example, but if I want to put a link there, literally just going to paste in that data, and that will trigger that ConvertBox. Okay, so that is pretty much all the standard stuff. Like at this point, it stacks up pretty well to all the normal lead generation tools that you've probably used before. But now I'd like to get into some of my favorite stuff. If we go back to customize here, there's another section here called steps. This allows you to build multi-step forms that change state based on what things the visitor clicks, right? So I'll show you an example here. All of these are going to trigger a different ConvertBox, and we've built a kind of choose your own adventure system here, right? So if someone comes in, they don't match one of these two industries, they click this. It's like, okay, which industry do you belong to? Let's say they click insurance. What are they trying to do with the software? So they click something, and then maybe they'd like to take a trial of the software, or they'd like to talk to someone, or just look around. So this will take them over to the page on our website where they can sign up for a trial. If we open this one here, so they're a web design agency. Okay, I want help with all of these. Now what they'd like to do, maybe they'd like to see a video, right? So we have the video directly there. Once they finish the video, they might want to close it or sign up for a trial. So in that case, it's not even really a lead generation tool. It's just a kind of choose your own adventure to help visitors get to where they need to be. So basically what's happening there, each one of these buttons is just changing to a different step within the ConvertBox. So you click this one and it changes to a step. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I've got these in the wizard here. So if we look at digital agencies, which was that first one, go over to steps, you can see we've got a few steps here, right? So on this first step, it's like, what process would you like to streamline? We click that button, and the button actions, we say jump to step, whatever, right? And we could also fire a script at the same time to track that if we want. And I'll tell you what's really cool is queue these integrations. So what we can also do here is say if someone clicked that button, let's say we want to add a tag to them and say that they clicked, collecting website content. I don't actually want to add this tag, so I'm not going to add it. But what will essentially happen then, it's going to keep track of every button and every queued integration, right? So we could have 5 steps in a row asking them different things. And then if the last step is an opt-in form, it will actually remember all of those things that they clicked and add them as tags. So that means you could build a kind of quiz. So let's say I want to put a opt-in on all of my Zapier posts. So I could trigger a box to come up on any posts that have a WordPress category of Zapier. And then I could ask, say, how much experience do you have with Zapier? How long ago did you start using Zapier? How many apps are you currently using? And all of these could be different questions and different steps on this form. And then at the end it says, oh, cool. If you would like to get my guide on, how to save 50 hours a month with Zapier, put in your email here. So they've clicked, they've gone through and clicked these buttons. When they put their name and email in there, it will actually then tag them with all those queued integrations that we just set up. So that is amazingly powerful for segmentation. It allows you to learn a lot about your leads so you can send them the right information. It's a better experience for both them and you. So this also works in reverse. You don't have to have the opt-in form at the end of the step. So let's say this last one was the opt-in form. You can actually have the opt-in form in the beginning, which will add them to your CRM immediately. And then the buttons in the subsequent steps go and add tags immediately when they click them. So even if they get, say, 3 out of 5 steps through, you'll get those 3 tags instead of 5. So let's say we had a form in first, they've put their name and email address in, so we don't really have any tags at that point. They come to this step, they click website content. That button would then tag them in ActiveCampaign and move to the next step. And then they click this button and it would tag them and then do whatever this button has been programmed to do. So again, super, super powerful. And you can actually combine different styles of ConvertBox, right? So if I jump back over to this one here that I've created earlier, we've got the slide in style, just saying want to learn how to save 100 hours with Zapier. Let's say if they click yes, I actually want to show the middle pop-up, because maybe there's more room there for them to put their name and email in. Or maybe you want to show like an image of the product that they're going to be getting and it's a bit too big to show in this little thing. If you go down here to the buttons and to button actions, you can just change this to open another ConvertBox. Of course, we probably want to close this one and not leave it open, but then we can select that one that we just created before, the JR test. So if they click yes here, it'll now go and open this one over the top in the middle of the page. Again, that's just another awesome piece of flexibility offered by ConvertBox. It's why I love this tool so much. Between being able to jump between ConvertBoxes, the steps feature, and being able to queue up different tags based on what people click while taking them to the right place is just freaking amazing. There are a bunch of other features I haven't fully covered in this, like creating A/B tests. You know, if you want to create two different versions of the same pop-up to see which one converts, you can create an A/B test, and then when you're back on the dashboard, you can view which ones are working the best. And it does actually give you some pretty good stats, like going back to this one here where they click one of these three different things. If I open those up and let's look at the stats for digital agencies, show the breakdown, I can see what buttons people are clicking in each step, right? So the first step was what process? Which ones are they clicking? Website content, ongoing marketing content. You can see how many people are clicking each one with percentages. And if you're doing A/B tests, it obviously shows you which ones are performing better. And if you're using this in combination with Facebook or other kind of advertising pixels, you can basically fire any kind of analytics code or tracking script at any point in the ConvertBox. So if they click any button in any step, you could fire off a tracking script before moving to the next step. So if we have a look at that wizard one again, under the button actions, you can fire a tracking script as well as moving to the next stage. So, you know, you could add them to a remarketing list or something as soon as they click that button, or even add those events to your Google Analytics account if that's something you would like to track. So again, just so powerful. That's it. I hope that now you can see the power of ConvertBox and why I love this tool so much. Remember, if you want to get your hands on that deal, go to csnare.com/CB. That's on the screen right now, but also I'll put the link in the description below. If you'd like any help getting set up with ConvertBox, look, if you have questions about design, if there's more things that you want to know, just drop a comment in below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to get more tips about how to become more productive, how to automate your business, and to find and discover new cool tools like this one. That's it. I'll see you in the next video.